everyone. Welcome back to what season? Season 8.
The finale.
We are
Oh my God, it's the finale.
20 episodes deep into the season, and you're still here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Not you guys.
Sorry.
Or you're just joining us. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Welcome for the first time to our bullshit. As always, I'm your host, Kyle. I'm joined by Trevor, Jordan, and Daryl. And we are the Good Enough Gaming Podcast. This week's episode is entitled Fully Developed. Unlike my brain. We
Got the noggin for it, though.
Yeah, is a big one. The big old dome. We wanted to end the season on a positive note this year.
Yeah.
We want to celebrate the greats and not just a particular game. You've heard us talk about ad nauseum over the seasons. Mega Man.
Hey.
No. We are talking about the developers that have taken the gaming world by storm in their respective decades, because that's the only real way to have conversation about the greats.
Yes. Got to break it up properly.
Yeah, and just those developers releasing a consistent streak of bangers that we all hold very, very dear to ourselves. Of course, we are likely to go on a little bit of a tangent here and maybe shit on a few of those companies that lost their way, so to speak. But let's be honest, you knew that was going to happen.
It's on brand.
Yeah.
We are just good enough after all. So thanks for joining us yet again for another amazing season with the crew at Good Enough. Indulge us in our season finale, and we'll see what this turns into. As always, feel free to hop on socials and argue with us relentlessly, except that we are right.
Always.
Typically.
I like to argue. Bring it.
Yeah.
Combined, we are correct.
Fusion!
Correct.
It lines up on my screen with Jordan, so it works out.
So the whole concept of this is we're going to go through from the 90s, the 2000s, the 10s, and today.
Yep.
Sound like a top 40 radio station. Looking at who we would argue is the best developer in each decade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think there's going to be some arguments tonight. I really do. We're keeping it positive by spreading positivity to the developers. But
we're gonna shit on each other.
Argue with each other. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't sign up for that.
Yeah. You signed the consent form.
Now, to preface, we're gonna miss some developers.
Of course we are.
We're gonna miss some games that you guys love, so don't get angry with us.
How could you forget about this?
Our main rule for the majority of the decades was these developers needed to have more than a one-hit wonder, because there are a lot of developers from the earlier gens that made one great game and disappeared.
Yeah, that's right. So just as an example, we talked about this before we even did this episode. So in the 20s, you could say Larian Studios is one of the greatest developers because of Baldur's Gate 3, but that's their one game so far for the decade that's kind of taken over the world.
The 20s is going to get a bit iffy.
It's going to be
just because that's hard.
Anyways, that's what we're talking about. You have to have several games, at least 2 by definition, in order to be considered, especially in those years where you could pump out games. So,
and there may even be some overlap, decade to decade. There might be a repeat of a dev here and there, depending. But
if they're putting out consistently good stuff, I see.
There's some crossovers.
Yeah. There's a few.
Yeah. So we're gonna take it back to the childhood first.
Yeah,
because we do love some member berries.
Let's go.
Just one answer.
No,
there is actually
many
multiple
choices.
Answers in this one.
There are many choices. But there is one answer for the 90s.
Trevor and I, we've talked about this one before.
Yes.
It'd be criminal if nobody said this one.
It's not to say that we won't say it. I'm just saying,
no. Is
it the greatest?
There's going to be a lot that we're just going to leave these arguments, and we're not going to come to a consistent conclusion.
Oh.
No.
Trevor, what is it? Who's the top? Who's the number one?
The easiest answer is Rareware.
Yep.
Any major franchise, they made their own games, but I'm pretty sure they also helped develop other stuff. So if you put in a game, you are probably more than likely to see the rare logo spin on the screen before you played it, like anytime during the 90s.
Yeah. Gold blue medallion.
Starting with that. So I went through and made the list here. So they did all of the Battletoads series with a ton of crossovers with like Double Dragon, which was weird.
So good, by the way.
All the Donkey Kong Country, Diddy Kong Racing, all those games. Killer Instincts, GoldenEye, Jet Force Gemini, Conker's, Perfect Dark is all rareware.
All rare.
Is that all in the 90s?
That is all in the 90s. That is all. They made like 40 games in the 90s. It is fucking insane, and I don't know how they did it. Like, I know the games were simpler and whatnot, but they made so many games, and they created so many of like those like memorable 90s franchises.
Insanity.
All rareware.
Yeah. And like one of the few developers where their properties of other IPs, like a GoldenEye, were good. Like when they took a movie franchise or, somebody else's franchise and made their own game, like they were actually really good, Yeah.
That's they were definitely
so good.
I would say in terms of quantity mixed with quality was the best. But the best developer of the 90s that took the world by storm, that released the best 5 games in the 90s was Game Freak.
Oh,
Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, and Silver were all 90s releases. And I don't think anything was more popular than that shit. Like when
was Game Freak owned by Nintendo at that point, or no? Were they separate?
I think they were separate, but they were pretty quickly scooped up.
Yeah.
After that,
it's funny. I didn't even consider handhelds, which is wild because like the 90s is like, but like that kind of ties in. Like Game Freak obviously partnered exclusively with Nintendo.
Yeah.
But even Nintendo as a developer, the 90s was where
Mario,
all of their major franchises,
Super Mario,
Zelda, Wave Race, everything that came from N64.
Nintendo has a fight for this.
I would say
Nintendo, man, you have Super Mario World, you had Zelda: A Link to the Past.
Yep.
You had Super Metroid. Those were all Super Nintendo games, and every single one of those is a certified all-time banger.
Yeah, and then you go to N64 and you're getting like your release game is Mario Kart 64. Fuck.
Mario Kart 64, Super Mario 64, like the first 3D Mario game, or Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Also,
some of the biggest franchises that are still pumping out money.
Still some of the most played emulated games, some of the most highly sought after emulated games are original Nintendo. And there is no greater emulated game than the original Pokemon games. Like
probably
Red and Blue
the mods and stuff that
are
people do.
The most emulated games. Like it's crazy. So I was like, Rare put it all out there. Like their hands were in every pocket possible. It seemed like, but I was like, to me, Game Freak was they were the ones that created corded trading. You turned that trading card franchise into one of the most the
most profitable gaming franchise ever. I'm pretty sure.
That game was so long. It's on a cartridge this fucking big. It's 8 bits and it's got, how long is the original Pokemon game? 30 something plus hours? How?
I don't know, man. You make a good argument, but honestly, for me, I view Game Freak more as an early 2000s dev. Is to me, 2000 to 2009, I think is probably one of the best runs of Pokemon games.
Really? Because isn't Gold and Silver almost essentially regarded as the greatest Pokemon game ever? And it's late 90s.
At least on this podcast.
If you wanted to be nitpicky about it, Gold and Silver didn't come to North America till 2000. So technically, it's not a 90s game. It only hit Japan in 99. North America was 2000. That's when we played it. So I think of Game Freak as
technical on these rules.
I am getting fucking technical. This is why we make rules. I'm going to bat. I'm going to go to bat for Daryl right now because what about Squaresoft?
Well, so I was just going to say
Square
Enix. I have an honorable mention for every year, and my honorable mention was Square, and that was because
Chrono Trigger.
Yes, Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VI, Final Fantasy VII. These are groundbreaking games that came out at this time. Like, again, utilizing new technologies, putting out a product that is immersing the player into the story. And if I would have been criminal if I didn't mention this for the sake of Final Fantasy VII. But they were breaking ground story wise. I put this in there, and my argument for Square being in consideration was they were the first ones that really made the JRPG a viable product in North America, where you were finally having competition for Breath of Fire and things like that. That you lose everything as you go. This was like a continuation. If you died, you just load in the last save. Everything was there. That was new. That wasn't really like a thing done previously by anybody, honestly, with a party build JRPG styled like open map game. They were the first to do that. They made it viable. They made it work. It took off in North America, and the stories they wrote were better than anything else out there that they were competing with.
Yeah, if you were playing like a turn-based JRPG, like 99% of the time it would have been a Square.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the list of
100%.
games they did, like because they even did I believe they also did the Super Mario RPG.
Yep, they
Right?
did.
Like they're like, if this is a turn-based game,
so
go talk to
underrated,
Square.
man.
Yeah. Go talk to the Square people. They know what the fuck they're doing.
And like to Daryl's point, there's so many of the 90s games in North America were everything was built around the arcade and the rental market. So it was all games that were meant to be game overs, and you had to start from the beginning. So with Square coming in and being like, oh, you can actually save progress, and if you die, it's not a game over. It's just let's reload.
We want you to buy this game and play it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we don't want you to rent it for 25 cents at a time.
So like that kind of changed how games, I feel, that kind of changed how games are made, because that arcade generation of the, started in the 80s, but like, that game over thing started to disappear as we've gotten, into more and more modern games.
I will say, like, honestly, from that company, I thought the 90s, early 2000s were the golden years for Square. Like that was peak Square.
Easily. Yeah. Funny. Oh, go ahead, Kyle.
I think some of the issues too is that, like Daryl said, like into the early 2000s, some of these companies have had runs that sort of transcend decades, and that causes problems too. Because I have one that if we were able to transcend early into the early 2000s, would 100% be making the list.
You get kind of that crossover of like 5-ish years, and it's like, it's so good.
Like Blizzard.
Oh,
yeah. I would call that
no. It's not. We're not ready for that.
It's not though.
No,
it's not though.
It's not at the beginning, but when you're talking,
we're talking about breadth of work within that period of time. We're
2000s.
It's 2000s. It's not. Yeah, Trevor's right. You're like,
but like StarCraft was 98.
Exactly.
Diablo 97.
Diablo
I know.
90s.
Yeah, but Diablo
wasn't nearly as good as Diablo 2.
Diablo 1.
And Blizzard didn't take off until fucking Warcraft 3 and World of Warcraft. So
and that was 2000.
That's 2000s.
Yes.
Okay. We're getting there. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, but before we jump into the 2000s, because we've got to mention these guys as well, is Capcom. Capcom in the 90s.
Mega Man, obviously, for Jordan.
Resident Evil.
But they were like Daryl talks about this like carryover from the arcade scene. Like Capcom seemed to be I don't know how they did it, but they seemed to be like the go-to for that. Capcom had all of the licensed games.
Yeah, for some reason.
Like Darkwing, Gargoyles, DuckTales, Aladdin, like everything that was like kind of a shift from an arcade cabinet into the home, but was a branch off of a, like a Disney IP or anything like that, like Lion King, like any of those.
Yeah.
God,
X-Men
every time it was
Capcom. Like X-Men Mutant Apocalypse was a Capcom game, and that's probably one of the best X-Men games of all time. Is that one. You had Street Fighter 2. came out in the 90s, and that's still one of the most played tournament fighting games is Street Fighter 2.
That's crazy.
You've got Daryl mentioned it briefly. You got Breath of Fire that came out in the 90s. You had Demon's Crest, Aladdin. You know, that was one of the most popular like Disney crossover games. You know, Trevor already mentioned it, but Mega Man X 1, 2, and 3 were all released within like a fucking 5-year window, which is wild.
Yeah, which is like, can you imagine if that was still happening? Like, can you imagine getting a full-fleshed game like within 2 years of the other one releasing?
It's like a CD release. You're like, oh, the new one's coming out in 6 months.
It's
like,
crazy.
Oh. Like, I couldn't even imagine that now. If they're like, Baldur's Gate 4 comes out in 3 months from now, I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
How?
The amount of trilogies that came out in the older decades is astounding. Like, there's and it's not just Capcom. There are so many trilogies that all came out.
I mean, there's a lot of copy
10,
programming in those old
but,
games, but
true.
When you stick with there wasn't the jumps were with the console generations.
Yeah.
So I find that there was like these huge leaps and bounds, whereas now we're not getting that like huge technological jump from an N64 to a PS3 or whatever, or even a PS2.
That's true.
But now you're getting longer dev times to like make things more intense and utilize what's there. But the fact that they could take like, even if like same thing, I think Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask came out like 6 months apart.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Because they were made entirely on the same system.
Yeah.
Right. So like they could just reuse like 90% of the assets and just like create a new story and do whatever. Like it's why.
Okay, so I'm going to keep this moving along. Put these in whatever order you feel necessary, because we're not
ranking. Yeah, we're not going to rank those. No.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Rare, Nintendo, Game Freak, Square, and Capcom.
Yeah,
those were the 5 that.
Yeah,
we kind of. I think the 90s. Yeah, I didn't have Capcom down, but that's good. That's a good call.
Yeah. Now.
This is when it gets dirty.
This is where, this is where it gets.
This one gets nasty.
Well, we already.
Shit.
This to me is the hardest category of them all. Like there was so
100%.
many good games that came out during this decade. There were so many monumental leaps in gameplay, technology,
development,
online gaming, like all of this shit happened in this decade and changed the face of the whole industry. So we already talked about it. We might as well just get into it now. Blizzard was humongous in this decade. And for me, like this is tied with another developer for me for the developer of the decade. Like and I'll explain after, but you have Diablo 2, you have Warcraft 3, you have World of Warcraft, you have Overwatch, you have these, like all of these games that just
StarCraft 2.
You have all of this stuff that came out from Blizzard this decade and crushed every single part of like any other game
was good.
They were up against, suffered.
Yeah. Well, and then the introduction of WoW, like that revolutionized MMOs.
Yeah. Oh, all those expansions.
Like MMOs had been around before WoW,
still going.
WoW is what made MMOs mainstream. You know, non-gamers.
You had Lineage and like all these and some of these other MMOs that Guild Wars, like these other things that were popular, but man, WoW really took it.
Wowed us.
Yeah. World of Warcraft took the world by storm, man. That was crazy.
Now,
okay.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Counterpoint. Naughty Dog.
See, I have Naughty Dog more relevant in the 10s, but
it's
still
the start, like, late,
prevalent.
This is that carryover Kyle talks about. Yeah. So in the late 90s, you have the Crash Bandicoot series wrapping up.
Yeah.
You then get Jack and Daxter 1, 2, 3, and Combat Racing in a 10-year span, plus Uncharted 1 and 2. Like how do you develop those games?
That's a good run.
I will say not as impressive as what Blizzard was doing, but insane.
But still very.
Okay, now I got to throw one in there because I think sometimes we forget how many games these guys had their hands in, and that's Rockstar.
Yep.
You say what you want about Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah.
This was my comparison. For me, it's I'm with you, Jordan. Blizzard and them.
You got Midnight Club. You've got Midnight Club 2 and 3.
Oh, that's a Rockstar game.
You've got Oni, which is a criminally underrated game. You've got GTA 3, GTA Vice City, GTA San Andreas. You have you have the Warriors. You have Bully. Bully is one of the most requested remake games every year
out there. Yeah.
People just want Bully to be remade. And all of that came in the 2000s. What I do
have one.
Vice City and San Andreas alone. Transformative. Like that puts that, they have to be considered at the top for that. Those two games alone.
Has to. Yeah.
Everybody wanted to play GTA.
Yep.
I have a counterpoint of things that are still relevant and we forget about them. But every month there's a sale and they take your money. Valve.
Yeah.
We cannot forget that in the 2000s, Valve had the Half-Life series, the start of Portal, the first Counter-Strike, which is still one of the biggest competitive games, and Team Fortress 2, Left 4 Dead.
Yeah. All great
now
games.
They own Steam or are part of Steam. Who owns Valve? Is Valve owned by Steam or does Valve own Steam?
I think Steam owns Valve.
Gabe Newell takes your money. That's all. You just
either way
makes money.
Yeah.
Forces
Gabe
combined.
Newell is a very rich man. Very rich man.
But the other one I did have, now I don't think they're the winner here, but I will say in terms of consistency and quality of product, we cannot forget Neversoft.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have Neversoft listed too.
Neversoft made all of the Tony Hawk games, which they're hit or miss towards the end, but like bangers. Yeah. They then transitioned directly from Tony Hawk into Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
Revolutionized the gaming industry.
Just the craziest switch up, but like super cool.
So to piggyback off of that, the other developer that I have to give like their due, this was my honorable mention because I didn't think they were the winner, but this was a hell of a decade for them, is honestly Electronic Arts. And this is their, to me, true, this is their golden years. Too. So this is The Sims, Rock Band, the Need for Speed, like sequels. You got Carbon and Underground 2.
Most Wanted.
Yeah.
Like their premier titles. This is the best soundtrack years on the NHL games.
Yeah.
This is NBA Live with the best soundtracks in gameplay. You have EA Big.
Sports Big.
You have SSX Tricky. You have NBA Street. You have all of these games that, like, to me, this was their goal. Like, and this sucks for me to not say they're the winner because there are some fucking amazing games from Electronic Arts in this time. But this is like,
this was peak sports game era.
This is upper echelon. Yeah.
Before it got really
sports game era.
Make money. This was like the peak of like, this is what we can do with games, and like a bit of the 2010s as well. It's like, this is what we can do with games, and we can sell them, and we can make money and be happy. And then it became like a vehicle, for creating money, not about the game. But man, I forgot about EA like even being.
Yeah,
like, just like the recent, just like recency bias.
You just try to shove it all behind you, like all.
Like, fuck them.
Yeah, all the EA Sports stuff had them on my list because that was pinnacle sports games back then.
That's what makes this decade so hard to choose because it's like, holy shit, there was so much good stuff in the 2000s.
My honorable mentions, I kind of already touched on it, was Game Freak. I think this is the golden Pokemon decade in my opinion. So many good games in there. Bungie, you had Halo 1, 2, 3, and ODST all came out in that decade.
That's nuts.
Infinity Ward, Activision, you had Call of Duty 1, 2, 3, Modern Warfare 2, all in that gen.
That's a run.
Damn.
BioWare, Baldur's Gate 2, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, Jade Empire, Mass Effect 1, Dragon Age Origins. Like those are some of the best North American RPGs ever.
Yeah.
All
I
in
pushed BioWare into the 10s
Yeah, I did too.
with some other stuff, but I don't
interesting.
I don't disagree entirely. But I think sort of like the Pokemon Game Freak thing,
It
when you
goes
consider
across.
the other titles, it
Yeah.
kind of goes across. But
Yeah.
I think honestly, looking at this, like when you think of it, especially when you consider WoW, like
This
I
was
don't want to say
Blizzard.
Blizzard is the winner, but I think they are the winner.
Yeah, like
Blizzard and Rocks,
There's-
it's so close.
Like for me,
Like, there's
Rockstar was
so
super
many.
close because I just remember
yeah.
how groundbreaking that Grand Theft Auto
Yeah.
3 switch from the GTA
Yeah.
1 2 was, and like just like when Grand Theft Auto 3 came out, it was all over the news. It took over
it was right.
everything.
Yeah.
yeah.
Kids are going to commit
satanic
crimes
panic
now.
to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I'll
Yeah.
never
It-
forget those moments. And playing
It was
that
like the
game
next-
was a
yeah.
visceral experience.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. It was like the next thing after Mortal Kombat, like shaking Congress, being like, "This is
Yes.
this is gonna turn kids
can we
into
let kids play this?
Think of
Yeah.
the children.
like wild." I got to give it to Rockstar. I think Rockstar owns this decade. I love Blizzard's, but I think Rockstar, like this is peak Rockstar. Before
I'm just so
2K.
impressed by how many amazing games everyone just listed off that I like completely forgot or dismissed.
Yeah. That whole
And like when you're like,
decade.
oh yeah, they made all 6 of their greatest hits in 10 years. It's like, yeah,
What?
right.
And I
Yeah.
still
Wow.
have 4 devs in that era that I like. There's just no time to even
we
mention.
didn't even mention Nintendo.
No.
Didn't mention Nintendo. Didn't mention Sony Santa Monica with God of War.
Oh, yeah, it started
But
that.
I don't.
Insom-
That's not their golden time.
Insomniac with Ratchet,
Nope.
Ratchet and Clank, Spyro, Resistance.
I just don't think they
Like-
match up to what we've listed.
No.
Like there's lots of good games from developers in there, but I don't think you can compete with Rockstar and Blizzard in that era. And to me,
No, you
the,
can't.
the
2000s
the
is the
closest
best
next
era
competitors. Yeah,
of-
it is.
Yeah.
It's the best era of
2000s
gaming.
is
the
the
best
best,
games
yes.
came out in that decade. It's
That's
You heard it here.
yeah.
Every
2000s
They're-
were
It
the
is.
best era of gaming.
They were.
every genre of game
Fight,
nowadays has been touched.
I'll challenge anyone
Yeah.
to a fight on. I will die on that.
Okay, so
Every mechanic and every genre of today has been touched by 2000s games.
is that legal?
Speaking of fighting,
speaking of fighting things, we're going to take a quick break. Otherwise, we'll just reminisce about the 2000s all night.
So
Good old
good.
days.
We're going to take our final journey this week to Daryl's Danger Dome and the Fantasy Face-Off.
let's go.
Fantasy Face-Off. Fight.
All right. Well, just in case anyone needs a quick little refresher, this is where I choose 2 characters from anything and we put them into a fight against each other to the death. And these guys get to vote on who would win. And so do you. And you can tell us why we're wrong, but you're probably wrong. But anyways, I called this the Battle of the Unhinged. And I picked these because I know you guys know who these characters are.
Daryl, you should call her.
So
No.
this is, to me, 2 of the craziest character creations ever that, people hold dearly because they are so fucking crazy. And that is Vas Montenegro from Far Cry and Trevor Phillips from Grand Theft Auto 5.
Both great. Both great.
Who wins in a fight?
I think Voss does, just because Trevor's gonna get so fucking drunk and high off his ass with whatever drugs he can find that he's not gonna be able to function at some point.
But isn't that when he just wakes up on a beach with a bunch of dead people around him and he's in his underwear and he has no idea what happened?
Yes. Yes. But usually those people are just like civilians that were in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Not other psychopaths.
There was no strategy or yeah.
I agree, Jordan.
Wow.
Voss is a trained military assassin that just goes off the fucking deep end.
Yeah, you've got kind of like Trevor's kind of like a chaotic neutral. Doesn't really care one way or the other. He's just pure chaos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas Voss is like definitely more on the evil psycho side.
Just not psychosis. I thought the funniest part of this battle would be the conversation the two of them would have before the fight began.
The best monologues that you'll ever hear between two people before they fight.
Some of the most outlandish shit and insults that you could have ever imagined will be said before this fight happens.
Oh, yeah.
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 All right.
It's, I think it's got to be Voss, man.
Clean sweep. To end it off, let us know if we're right. Let us know if we're wrong. But chances are not high.
I'm not always right, but
no. Yeah, Kyle. See, it took all season, but Kyle learned he didn't jump in first there.
So we can disagree.
Waves in the water. Yeah.
No, I was going to say Vass as well, even before Jordan.
Sure you were.
Up,
sure you were.
Kyle's learned to wade in the shallow end of the pool.
Okay, so back to it. The tens. This is where games take a lot longer to release. It takes a lot more development for anything to kind of come into fruition. So the multi-titled studios get harder and harder to come by. And even some of the big dogs that have been in the fight since the inception, since we talked about it, like in the 90s where things got really competitive here, even they had a hard time like kind of keeping up with development. So
they really slowed things down.
My first nomination for this one, the other one I'm going to let Jordan or Trevor kind of lean in on, but my first nomination for the tens was Rocksteady. And that's because this is the Arkham City and Arkham Knight era. We have Arkham Origins in there too, which wasn't like super awesome in comparison, but those games, like the Batman Arkham series, is still highly regarded, highly touted, and easily replayable. Yeah. I thought it would be a disservice to not say like these guys kind of set the standard for that superhero battle mechanic thing that a lot of people have taken note of. I think Insomniac has used a little bit of that as inspiration for some of these other games, because the Batman combat mechanics in those games are phenomenal. It's a masterpiece, honestly.
Yeah.
Counterpoint. From Software.
That was my other.
Had absolutely legendary
just a run.
In the 2010s, like Dark Souls, Armored Core, Mobile Suit Gundam.
Yep.
Another Armored Core, Dark Souls 2, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, Sekiro, all in the 2010s.
Yep.
That's when they just cemented themselves as like the fuck you franchise of
hardcore. Yeah. Yeah.
This was my number one list on this one too.
Yeah. I think FromSoft is, again, you talk about developers that not even changed genres. They made a genre. Like there's not many game developers that make their own genre of games.
It's called Souls.
It's called Souls-like. That's impressive.
That's true.
That's crazy. And all of those games that Kyle listed, like you could even just take Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 and ignore all the other stuff.
You want to ignore Bloodborne?
You could.
I'm making a point. that that's how good these games are. It's like you could just take that trilogy and you could still have an argument for them to be top of the decade.
Yeah.
But the fact that you got Bloodborne and Sekiro and Armored Core, like it's nuts.
Yeah.
It's very rare that they're going to drop a game that blows ass. Like, I don't think that's ever happened. Has it?
I can't remember
anything. Been less popular ones, or like like we've said, they maybe don't have the best combo online mechanics, but
they're not perfect by any means.
No,
they've got issues, but
I think all of those games like have all grown off of each other and like kind of learned a thing, developed it a bit, push the boundary a little bit.
They still have time in the 20s to be like this impactful.
I'm expecting at least another Elden Ring or something.
Yeah.
But like, to me, this is where they shined, was in the 10.
Currently.
Like, yeah. That's what I mean. There's a lot that could happen still. We still got 5 years left of this decade. So
I think very similarly to them, but we switch back over to a traditional, now the new traditional open world RPG. This is where you get CD Projekt Red.
Yeah.
Yep.
Making their name with Witcher 2 and 3.
Yep.
Yeah. I thought about putting them on the list, but The Witcher 2 to me just isn't as good.
Yeah.
No, it needed some work, but I think Witcher 3 and the DLCs came out in the 10s.
It did,
like it cemented what they're about to do with the new Witcher 4 and really kind of what they moved into with Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Now, if we want to talk about longevity, we got one that's going to come up again from the 2000s.
And again and again and again, and remake and remastered.
And that's Rockstar Games.
Oh, that's not what I was thinking.
No, it's not, Trevor.
Capcom.
Two of the most like constantly like revered games that have insane playtime for so many people, not just because the newest one hasn't released yet, but just the sheer like fan love for it is like Rockstar Games. So GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yep.
Like Red Dead
Both
Redemption
insane.
2 is considered one of the best games of all time.
It's phenomenal.
Yep.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
And people, like, it came out 2010s and people are still playing it. Same with GTA 5, but that's because
that's all they got.
The crazy thing is, outside of that, you still have GTA 4, Red Dead Redemption 1, LA Noire, which got remade.
That was fun
because it was underappreciated when it came out. And Max Payne 3, which was also
I forgot
I had Rockstar as my honorable mention for this one. I was like, it was my only repeat.
Yeah.
Now the one I think I gotta show some love to, because to me this is probably their peak, followed very shortly after with epic collapse, and that would be Ubisoft. Because you've got Assassin's Creed 3, 4, Black Flag. You've got Prince of Persia, Forgotten Sands, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell series. I think they did 2 or 3 games. Rayman Origins, and the second one, I can't remember. Rayman Legends, I think is what it was. Far Cry 3, funny enough, Daryl with Voss. Far Cry 3 is still considered the best Far Cry game, and that came out in the early 10s. Like they had a lot of, maybe not 10 out of 10 games, but they had a lot of 8 and 9 out of 10 games.
Consistently good.
Consistently fun and good games in the early 2010s.
What's funny, I would also agree with that for the one that we think maybe carried over from the 2000s, and that's BioWare.
Yeah. So
I
had them more in this.
In the 10s, right?
Yeah.
That's where you get Mass Effect 2, Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age 2.
Yeah, because I thought
Star
those were
Wars,
better titles for them than the previous.
They kind of hit their peak, hit their prime, and then now we're seeing the fizzle of that, sort of like with Ubisoft. You're seeing, the monetization, things getting sold off, and kind of the ruining of a studio. Like you're watching it live.
Yeah, for real.
As money destroys a studio.
Okay. What about a smaller studio that put out like quite a few bangers in a row? I'm talking about Supergiant Games.
Oh yeah.
They put out Bastion, Transistor, Pyre, and Hades, all in the 2010s.
Hades alone.
I just don't think like Hades, I think, carries that list.
Yeah.
Not that the other ones aren't good, but I think the fact that like
Hades
is the thing that put them on the map. Yeah, really.
Hades is the only game that
Hades went mainstream.
Yeah.
Bastion.
Bastion
really.
is a fun game,
Hades
but it didn't.
Yeah.
Not everybody played Bastion.
Didn't break the internet the way
Everybody played Hades.
Yeah.
Okay, so on that note then of everybody played it. Nintendo comes up again.
They always do.
Yeah.
They always do.
Wow.
With Breath of the Wild, with Smash Bros.
Yep.
Odyssey.
Well, Smash Bros.
Mario Odyssey.
Smash Bros. Is at that point isn't just Nintendo. They're that's Bandai Namco too.
Yeah, they helped out quite a bit.
Yeah.
Speaking of, what else has Bandai made? Because they got their fingers in everything too.
Everything.
I've got a couple honorable mentions. This is the era I had Naughty Dog in for Uncharted 3,
Yeah,
The Last
this is
of
what I
Us,
had.
Uncharted
Yeah.
4. Like those 3 games, all really, really good. I had DICE. So they had Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, Medal of Honor, Battlefield 3, 4, and 1, and Star Wars Battlefront, all in the 2010s. So like if you play a shooter, you probably played a DICE shooter in the 2010s.
That's true. Who makes Destiny?
Bungie.
Oh, that is a Bungie game.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I had Capcom again, because you had Resident Evil 7, Monster Hunter World, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Dragon's Dogma, Devil May Cry 5. Like they had some really good games.
I think those were
This is
honestly. I
there
think
too,
that's a
but-
pretty average lineup for them.
Yeah.
in
This is
comparison.
definitely where the waters start to muddy a little.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah. Okay. We're capped out on the 10s.
I think so. Yeah, that's
I
enough.
think so.
I think so, yeah.
20s
Losing
right now.
steam.
We're only halfway through the decade, but it feels a little sparse, guys.
I think there's only one clear winner on this one, like based off of our criteria currently. And
Insomniac.
yes, and that can change.
That's true.
That can change, but to me, it's Insomniac. We have Spider-Man Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2. We're going to get the Wolverine game. I'm only
Ratchet and
imagine
Clank.
it's going to be good. Ratchet and Clank. You have some of the most highly regarded, already not like remastered, but scaled to the next system games that are incredible. Like these are all. That Spider-Man 2 is a 10 out of 10 game.
It's
Yeah.
top tier. Yeah.
I'd give it more if I could.
So
And I still love Miles Morales more than Spider-Man 1. Like I still
I thought it was a good
Miles
game, too.
Morales is
Yep.
a very good game.
It was a really good game. It was short, but it was very poignant. It was very good.
So based on our criteria, we would need to see another game, but we did talk about, you did use them as reference, was Larian.
Yeah.
Because they kind of have that carryover, like Divinity 1 and 2 were like right at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah.
It's the
2010s.
unfortunate side
Yes.
of it. Yeah.
And so same thing in 2028 or something, I want to see the thing they've secretly been talking about and keep teasing at
What's the next
from
one?
Larian.
Yep.
Yeah.
The other one I had was, again, FromSoft, right? We've gotten Elden
Yeah.
Ring with a DLC and Night Rain. We
Armored
got the new
Core.
Armored Core,
Yeah.
and they're doing Dusk Bloods, which
Dusk Bloods is going to be next year. Yeah.
I'm hoping
Who knows?
gets re-released to everything
It
else.
looks
and
like there's
works.
an Elden Ring adaptation for the Switch 2 coming out as well.
That's Dusk
That-
Bloods.
that's
Yeah.
It's a
That's
separate thing.
no, I don't think so.
No?
There's
Oh,
no
it sounds
fucking
like
way a
this.
Switch can run
Yeah, I don't think so.
well,
dude.
Elden
Switch
Ring,
2,
how big it is.
Switch 2 maybe.
roughly.
It wouldn't be great.
I'm going to give some love to Trev's household because I think he'll agree with this, but I put Hazelight Studios on there because you've got It Takes Two and Split Fiction. Both of those came out in the last few years.
They're coming up as like the post-COVID, like, oh, couch co-op still exists. Like people marry their friend that they want to play games with.
Yeah, this one makes a list again
Daryl?
because of our parameters of needing more than one game. Both of those games were reviewed very well. Split Fiction,
Yeah, that's true.
Yep, that sold incredibly well. And they're a fully independent studio that will not sell to any corporation. So
Triple indie.
indie, that's got to count for something.
So I think with that, you're also going to have to loop in like Sucker Punch. Like we are about to get the second game.
Yeah, Ghost of Yotei. Yeah,
Ghost of Yotei.
Yeah.
And then I had one that was more, I guess, more of a technical standpoint, because I would say this isn't their best game. But you have Guerrilla Games. This same thing, late 2010s.
Yeah.
You're getting more like, yes, Horizon Zero Dawn, and then Forbidden West being. And then I have to put this in as a technicality just for Jordan. They did do a bunch of supportive development for Death Stranding 2. Like their system is what's being used.
Yeah, it's their game engine. They did Death Stranding 1 and 2.
You're playing Horizon.
No.
Norman Reedus Horizon. No, but I think honestly right now with like the open world engines, theirs is probably one of the best.
Yeah.
So
Death
I'm curious to see
shows what an open world engine should look like. Yeah. Like the fact that it's not their engine, but they make that engine look better than the developer that owns the engine's games. Like to me, that's
pretty wild.
That's the funniest.
We need more space whales and some weird artsy shit thrown in there. Fix it up, guys.
Yeah. The other one that I had on there, same kind of thing. The second game's not out till next year, but Playground Games from Xbox. You've got Forza Horizon 5, which again, if we're talking like a technical perspective, that game is gorgeous. And then they've got Fable.
It also had Forza Motorsport, so
yeah, you've got and then Fable in 2026. They're the devs for that, and that's hopefully good.
Supposedly, yeah.
We'll see.
It looks good if their cinematics are accurate.
But you guys are right. I mean, we've hit the generation now where in a 10-year span, you're kind of lucky now if a developer makes 2 games in 10 years.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
Totally.
Like you're aiming for 3 to 4, but you're lucky if you get 2.
It's 1 to 2.
You're lucky if you get 2. Like it's
And just the constant copy paste of sports games and Call of Duties, just like don't cut
it's
it
no
anymore.
longer there. Like, and I want to make a note of this because when these developers actually listen to this episode one day, there are companies that got left off of this list on purpose. And 2K, I want you to hear me. Your VC dollars and all of this stuff is garbage. You'll never be on this list because it's terrible. And half of the products you release are bad games. Like they're meant to
recycled trash.
Yep. And it's just not enough. Sometimes the story has been good. 2K17 I thought was the best with Michael B. Jordan. You could get, you get the power of juice, which I thought was hilarious. But like so much of it is so not genuine and not unique and doesn't offer a new story and doesn't offer enough like new facets to make it viable. And we talked about this before, like sports games shouldn't be a yearly release thing. It should be a live service game. It should just be one game that gets your rosters and other things get updated as you go, new modes, new seasons, new things like introduced into the game. But having a newly released title every year is a waste of time.
Well, it's really funny looking back at this list and looking in the 90s and you using the word recycle. I think there has to be a difference between recycle and upcycle. Because when you look at the 90s, people are reusing assets. Like the biggest example right now is Elden Ring Night Rain. We made this game. It's great.
Yep.
We want to reuse some of these assets, but twist it, make it maybe not better in your mind, depending on how you like the game, but like do something different with it. That is its own entity.
Yep.
Which is what a lot of those games in the 90s were. It's like, yeah, we can reuse the graphics for Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong riding in a fucking rail car. But we can make the levels better. We can do other stuff better and like upgrade the experience while still having the same while still having the same graphics. Like that's not a bad thing.
Nope.
I don't need to see 4 extra chin hairs on Aloy. I need the game to be better. Like, I don't care. Same with like we talked about last week with Borderlands. I don't care that you can make 50 bajillion guns. I want the gameplay to be better. Even if that means using the old engine and fixing it and making it better. Right? Like that's what so many of those games are an example of. It's like, it's the same graphics engine tweaked slightly, but they rewrote a whole game and it's fucking awesome. Like you could say that about so many of the early Final Fantasy games too. It's not like they went crazy on graphics, they wrote these incredible stories.
Great stories, great character development. I think the other thing too is, again, it's this conversation about value versus game length. Not every game in the modern era needs to be 100 hours.
No, it doesn't.
To be worth your time.
Or $100.
Or $100.
Or $120.
There were, like we talked about the 2000s being the greatest era of gaming. There are a lot of games in that era that are 15, 20 to 25 hour lengths.
Mm-hmm.
And they're phenomenal games. And so it's like sometimes less is more, quality over quantity. We talk about that all the time. Me personally, I'm not going to speak for, for all of you guys and for any listeners, but like, I don't view games as, well, if it's $80 day one release,
time versus cost. Yeah.
It needs to be 60 plus hours of gameplay or I'm not even going to look at it. To me, that argument is so fucking stupid because the majority of that gameplay is filler. It's trash. You guys have talked about the last Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Yep. That
could have been cut 30 to 40%.
Easy.
I wish. I wish it was.
The completionist in me wishes it fucking.
Yeah.
It probably would have been a better received game if it had been.
I agree.
And it's funny because you can have that argument of like, well, it's got this many hours of gameplay compared to the 2000s game. It's like, but that 2000s game was so fun.
Mm-hmm.
I played it 100 hours.
I played it more than once.
So fun.
I played it more than once because I loved the game. Like that's
exactly.
It respected your time. It respected your time that you had.
Weird. We keep coming back to the same themes.
Yep. That's my rant.
There's still some hope for some other companies here in the 2020s as I try to circle back to our list. But yeah.
I think I'm cautiously optimistic for the rest of the decade. I feel like there's a lot of good stuff coming out and a lot of based on all the people we've talked to and games that we've experienced that we've loved, there's obviously still passion in the industry that isn't just profit.
Mm-hmm.
No
passion over profit.
That's right.
And I think that's where we're getting the shift now, where we're going to get a new wave where if you were to talk about this in 10 years, you're going to be talking about new developer teams, indie dev teams that are just getting on the radar because we're just finding them and they're making incredible stuff. And that's, I think people's focus is starting to shift away from the multi-billion-dollar profit engines to good games again.
Well, it's weird.
I probably heard them here first on the Treasure Trove.
Yeah.
I encourage listeners to try double A studio games and triple indies. Take a look at those games because they're going to give you the same amount of hours worth of gameplay. They're going to be half the cost of a AAA game, and there's going to be more love and care put into the development of those games.
And not 7 currencies and VC bucks and a billion microtransactions paying for every skin possible.
Now, do we get a second? Now, this is a big question because we just got probably the game of the year recently. Do we get a second Sandfall game in the 2020s with the hit success of Expedition 33?
Well,
I don't know. I feel like they're going to do something different.
I think you might see some DLC, maybe an expansion of some kind. I don't think you're going to see like a sequel.
That next game, we're still on that 10. Not even a sequel, just a different game.
It's just a different game. I hope they make a different game. I would love it if it came out before 2030.
I don't see it happening. They've already talked about wanting to do DLC for Expedition, so I think that's going to be their focus in the next 4 years.
Fair.
All right.
I love that game, but
I'm hopeful.
I want another one. I don't want DLC. I actually don't want DLC. It's got the perfect ending.
I don't either.
I don't want DLC.
Don't need it.
I want a new game.
Great. So we want them to make a new game for those that come after.
That's right.
Correct.
So
you're not even allowed to make that joke. You haven't finished the game.
I don't care.
We continue, Kyle.
Continue to bug Kyle to finish that game.
I want to thank everyone for another great season.
Yes.
I know I love you guys. This is like always the highlight of recording this shit and getting to bullshit with you. Stay tuned. I mean, we're going to take a couple months off to actually play some of those games that we talked about last week and have some fun. Remember that we are humans too. Maybe do our jobs at some point.
Things are changing.
Speak for yourself.
There are changes on the horizon for Good Enough Gaming.
Look forward to some changes.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on our social media. There might be things about. I don't want to spoil too much.
We've got some very big news to share in the future.
Irons in the fire.
Yep.
Yeah, irons in the fire. We're making a very big step in the evolution of our podcast. I'm going to leave it at that. Like Kyle said,
season 9's going to be a banger.
Hot tub stream.
Stay tuned.
With Trevor's feet.
Stay tuned to our socials. We might tease a few things here and there. If you don't follow us on Discord, please do. It's the best way to talk to us in the off season.
And find out what's happening.
And find out what's happening. That's probably where we're going to post teases. Mm-hmm. But from the bottom of our hearts, and without getting too savvy, thank you for those listeners that have followed us. Even one episode, we appreciate you.
Yeah.
This has been pretty fucking cool, guys. 8 seasons.
We might not be great, but we are good enough. So thanks for coming by.
Good enough.
Good enough.
Good enough, man.
It's good. You know what? Better than good. Good enough.
Good enough.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at GEG Podcast. Check out our website, goodenoughgaming.com, and write us an email about anything from our episodes or something you would like us to discuss in the future. You can also now join us on Discord on the Good Enough Gaming Discord server. We really appreciate you listening and hope you continue to join us on this epic adventure of discussing all things gaming and nerdy. Please subscribe to the Good Enough Gaming podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever else you listen to your podcasts, and rate us 5 stars so we can find more good enoughers in the process. Just remember, we might not be great, but we are good enough.